So, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm great.
Good, good. Happy to hear it.
Tell me what Execumama is.
Execumama apparently is me. I thought when I was writing a book that has the same title, and in my first book, which I self-published in 2007, I came up with this moniker of a woman who was focused on her career as well as focused on her role as a mom, right? So that's where the Execumama meld came in. And I didn't call myself Execumama, I just called women who were in that space Execumamas. But as it went on through social media, I started blogging about it, and then everyone just started calling me Execumama. But really, as it evolved, what I see it as now is any woman who is looking to embrace the duality of whatever it is that she wants to do for her give, like her work, as well as who she wants to be for herself. So there's that executive side, as in whatever she's managing, and then mama, not necessarily as mom, but like mama.
Okay. Okay. So it evolved over time from being just about mothers, or was just...
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. It started out definitely as something specifically for mothers, because when I wrote the book, it was a pocket guide. It was called Execumama, a pocket guide for the 20-something mommy on the move. Right. And at the time, I was very much focused on a typical corporate career. I worked at a law firm. I was getting ready to go to law school. I'd taken the LSAT twice. All my mentors were attorneys. That's the frame of mind that I was in. Worked my way up in this firm, blah, 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 junior partner, then partner, blah, blah, blah. And then I became pregnant. And when I got pregnant, that was the first time in a very long time that I had a radical self-expression moment where I listened to myself and then I did something about what I heard. And what I heard was that law was not what I wanted to do. It was what I thought I should be doing. And that was the truth. The truth also was that I wanted to write. I wanted to write and talk to people. And I didn't know how in the world to make that possible. That's why I never did it. And so that's what happened. Then it evolved out of this thing about me just as a mother, and became to focus more on the thing before that, me as a woman, because before we're anybody's mama, for those of us who choose motherhood, we're ourselves. Like, we're always ourselves. And how do we nurture that while we very often to whatever those things are, motherhood, being a wife, entrepreneurship or corporate pursuits, whatever, all of that. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, what really finally gave you that push to go ahead and leave basically your comfort zone and do what, like you said, you knew you should be doing?
I couldn't ignore the voice anymore. In my bio, I say that my life got stale. Mm-hmm. I think that's the term that I use, and that's how it felt. I would get up super early, first problem, not a morning person, and go into this space that didn't feel like me. I was dressed in suits and tiny, tiny earrings and in the elevator and
right.
I just wasn't, even though I formed some really good relationships from my corporate life, both working at the law firm, or not both, but working at the law firm and all the other gazillion jobs that I did, it wasn't me. And so once I became pregnant, this thing came to me that said, okay, if this kid asked me, hey mommy, can I do what I love with my life? Can I be myself for a living? I couldn't truthfully say yes because I wasn't living that. That, Ivy, is what pushed me out. Like, it wouldn't go away. It was just like, hey Akilah, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't have this grand plan. I just knew what I couldn't do anymore. So I didn't make the transition like officially, and like someone like a Pamela Slim or Jonathan Mead or one of these coaches who focus on that transition, mm-hmm. they would not have me as a client because I was just like, you know what?
Right.
Kind of like that. But just knowing that I couldn't have that honest conversation with my child started it off for me. That's what made it something that I really couldn't ignore anymore.
Okay. So, since we're talking about moms or women in general, if you're in the middle of your life as a mom, a wife, just a woman, and you've got all these things happening around you, and you know this isn't what you want to do, or you're not happy or fulfilled with where you are, how do you begin with your life design?
I think self-exploration, I always say it, curiosity and self-exploration. Those are the two things that saved me personally. And the women that I work with, the vast majority of us, we're dealing with the same thing. Some part of our life feels muted. So it might look good on the outside for a lot of us, whether that's financial success or you have a great partner and wonderful babies, or, whatever the thing is, whatever that thing is that on the outside looks great. Something inside feels muted. You don't feel like you're fully expressed in this part of your life. And if you're feeling that way, you definitely need to pay attention to that curiosity and start looking at ways to explore who you are. So I'm a big fan of self-analysis. So asking myself these questions, saying, okay, I have one of them called a win, what I need now, looking in the mirror and saying, okay, I don't feel good right now. What is it that I need? I need to feel listened to. Well, when don't I feel listened to? Maybe when I'm with this person, or when I'm in this particular type of partnership, whether it's business or, intimate, those sort of things. Asking yourself the question, like being curious enough to constantly ask the question, and then doing something about what you find. If you find that when you're in this space, and it's not it's particularly complicated, I think, for mothers, married mothers to be even more specific, because then you say, well, this is just what it is right now. Like a lot of my clients who are moms, Ivy, will say that. This is just what it is right now, and a few years from now, no. Because whatever it is that you're experiencing, if you're nurturing that environment, that's what that environment is going to be. So I believe in coaches, because I have coaches myself, and I am one. I believe in self-exploration, whether that's through your spiritual journey, through just getting outside of your head however you can. But more importantly than that is when you do that exploration and you follow that curiosity, do something with what comes. Don't just write it in your journal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So what would you say for a mother? What is one of the biggest myths about mothers, and in relation even to life design?
I think this idea of work-life balance, that's what I think is just like the biggest, ugliest lie. And I have a second book, as you know, which is very much focused on that. It's the Execumama Survival Kit, and it's not just a book. It's also an audio book and some worksheets, and really just this comprehensive resource for those of us who were trapped in this work-life myth, because there's this idea that we should be very balanced with what we're doing professionally and what we're doing personally. The amount of time you spend at home or in the gym or whatever should equal the amount of time you spend at work. And I talk to women over and over again who never attain that balance, or when we do attain it, it's fleeting. We have it, and then inevitably life happens, and then we feel like, oh my God, I can't get it together like her. In the meantime, whoever her is probably having the same issues that you have. She just has had a makeup artist. You know what I mean? So it's this idea that there's work-life balance, and I believe that instead of looking at balance, we need to look at harmony. And I get a lot of pushback from people saying, oh, that's just semantics, same difference. It's not. It isn't. Because when you're looking for balance, you're looking for something to feel right all of the time, like it should be even keeled, But harmony says that something has emotion to it. It has a rhythm to it. But whatever it is, you feel good about it, and you can swing with it, and you can roll with the punches, and you can stand up when you want to, and dance when you want to, and sit when you want to. That is very different. And so work-life harmony, particularly for mothers, entails the idea of prioritizing yourself and training other people how to treat you. Because we spend so much time and energy nurturing the things outside of us, even before we become moms.
Right.
It becomes something that is amplified as a mother, because somebody else is always tugging on you, and you care this time. To other people, you might be like, I'm not talking to her today or whatever, but when it's your child, kind of need to talk to them every day. And hopefully So when you embrace harmony instead, you look at it and you're able to prioritize yourself and say to your child, I gave this example in the book. You say, you know what, I don't want to do arts and crafts today.